Oh yeah, you read that right. Here's the proof. Hello everyone, and welcome to The Sims Lore. Today is a good day, because today we're investigating this. You might ask, what is this? Where did you get this screen grab? Well friends, I'll tell you, right after this shameless plug. Did you know you can now become a Sims Lore channel member? You get access to cool loyalty badges next to your username in the comments, and you get to use custom emojis of, well, me. Yes, this is what I look like. There are 3 different tiers depending on what you'd like, but the main thing here is that you would be playing a key part in supporting me and the channel. And I will be eternally grateful. Also, the membership grants you safety from being abducted by aliens just like Bella, so win-win I think. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video if you enjoyed it. Alright, let's get straight into the video. This is Simpy. This is where I found that juicy info on Alexander Goth. Simpy is an incredible program that can be used to have a look inside the Sims 2 game and character files. I have absolutely no idea how to use it, but all I know is this. Alexander has this hidden memory of becoming best friends with Bella whilst gossiping about Mortimer. Something is not right. Let's figure it out. I was starting to make a video on Alex plays Sims Bella Goth theory. Yes, I know, I'm so late. And yeah, don't worry, it's still coming, but it's so long. Anyway, in my findings, I came across a few things. We know Mortimer was the first Sim created in The Sims 2, but Bella was the 29th. This is interesting because the creators developed the story as they went along. This is very clear to us from this clue. If they knew exactly where the story was going, they would have created Bella after Mortimer. So they might have started off with Mortimer as a millionaire bachelor who would fall in love with a gold digger, considering Nina, Dawn and Dina were all created before Bella. But they maybe thought, let's spice things up. What if he had a wife? And not just any wife, but a trophy wife. And what if he wanted to keep her from aging, therefore inventing the elixir of life so he can keep her young forever? But what if his plan backfired? What if she did something to upset him and he sent her away? Mortimer's memory of Bella being abducted is not a negative one, and in his family album photo he's looking up at the sky smiling whilst thinking of Bella, rather than, I don't know, crying because his wife was abducted by aliens? Okay, so looking deeper into the game, we find out that their relationship was not good. And we know this because they have no relationship if she is resurrected, despite the fact that she has a relationship with her children and recognizes them as family. Now why would that be? Unless they're divorced, like Alex Plays Sims mentions in their theory. Okay, so far we know this much. Bella and Mortimer divorced well before she was abducted. He kind of hates her pretty much, considering all of the clues we just found. But why? Why does he hate her so much to the point where his memory of her being abducted is a positive one? What about this photo? Is he reminiscing good old times, or is he just happy that she's finally gone? Something really doesn't add up here. It's clear to me that Mortimer wanted her gone for one reason or another. And that's what I'm here to find out. Or at least heavily speculate about. Why does Alexander not remember his mum disappearing? Is it because he was a toddler? No, because he went to private school, then he became best friends forever with Bella, and then she disappeared. Toddlers can't go to private school, you guys. Did she visit him after she was abducted? Therefore Alexander not remembering her being abducted by aliens because he was a toddler, but he remembered his mum and didn't think too much of it since she came back to visit him and warn him about Mortimer. When you resurrect Bella, she isn't best friends with Alexander like his hidden memory suggests. Did she forget about them being BFFs? Let's take a look at that. When a team of highly trained SimCity investigators managed to track Bella down, they sat her down for an interview and published it on the official Sims 2 website. This interview is rarely mentioned when looking at different theories about her disappearance, so we'll look a little bit into that. Keeping in mind that this Bella that is being interviewed is believed to be the clone of the original Bella. She is asked how come she doesn't have any memories of Mortimer, Cassandra and Alexander. She says that she couldn't remember anything after the abduction, but she kept a diary and has a therapist. So now she's recovering. Allegedly. Even though, of course, she doesn't recognize anybody as family in her relationships. She is asked about Dina and her involvement in this. Of course, she thinks Dina had something to do with it. I do have a video where I explain this possibility also. You can click here if you want to watch it. However, now that there is extra proof that Alexander knew Mortimer was up to something, I think that theory was thrown in there to confuse us, to protect Mortimer. I think he has something to do with her abduction. Something to do with the fact that as soon as she disappeared, he moved on so quickly with Dina. Bella from Strangetown alleges that Dina was sent to Pleasantview to pull Mortimer away from her. Very convenient, but she mentions nothing about how Dina was married to her brother Michael. She's of the belief that the aliens and Dina didn't want Mortimer to come up with the life elixir, which, I mean, he ended up creating anyway. But it wasn't pushed to the masses or the public market since Bella disappeared. It was kind of hidden away as a reward of sorts. Even in the Sims 2 intro, it looks as if only the rich would have access to it. Okay, so moving on to Alex. We know that he wrote 2 books, a biography called Baron Graf van Gould and a mystery, Murder in Pleasantview, which both appear in The Sims 3. Now, this is where things get confusing since The Sims 3 happens 50 years before The Sims 2. But maybe we can make sense of it. Alex Plays Sims has a theory that Cassandra builds a time machine at some point and uses it to send Don to the future after finding out about Dina and Nina. You know, the big clue is that Don's bio here, which says something about him stepping into a teleporter, several women laughing, and waking up in Riverview many years before his time. So this brings me to Alexander and how his name appears as the writer of those books in The Sims 3, even though he doesn't even exist yet. When you load up The Sims 3 for the Nintendo DS, it says, before Pleasantview, there was Beacon Bay, founded by the Landgrabs to be a quiet, peaceful town. It kind of sounds familiar, similar to the description of Sunset Valley. There are several families returning here, including the Altos, the Landgrabs, the Goths, consisting of Alexander Goth, and his wife? Okay, so here's what we know. The 2 of them have lived in the town since the very beginning. There is a question posed in their bio as well. Is their aura of gloom deserved, or more the result of growing up with dad named Mortimer? It's implied here that Alexander suffered quite a bit at the hand of his father Mortimer. But why? Also, how? Technically, Alexander shouldn't even be here considering this is 50 years in the past. The theory here is that Alex time traveled, ended up in Beacon Bay, and just was stuck there. But before he was teleported here, he knew something. He found something out. So after getting married, living his life, becoming CEO, he couldn't shake his memory of his mum telling him something about Mortimer. Something that shook him for the rest of his life. He had to write the books. He had to put them all on paper. And that is what happened. Mortimer had something to do with Bella's disappearance, and Alexander knew. This is the rundown. Bella and Mortimer have a good life up until Alexander turns into a toddler. Things start going awry then. Bella starts an affair, Mortimer finds out, they divorce and are not on good terms. Mortimer is very angry with Bella and he hatches a plan. Bella becomes closer to Alexander and tells him Mortimer is planning something dark, but doesn't know exactly what. By the way, that's why Alexander doesn't remember his mother being abducted by aliens, because he doesn't believe it. Then, Mortimer's plan is in motion. He sells the life elixir to aliens, and in return, he is promised the wife he never had. A wife who wouldn't dare to cheat, right? A young and beautiful woman that loves him still. It just so happens to be Dina. Just his luck. With her alien family connections, Dina is sent on this mission to Pleasantview. Her sister Nina just so happens to tag along for the fun of it, but they both end up on Don's radar. Funnily enough, Don, Dina, and Nina have nothing to do with Bella's disappearance. It just so happens Dina is sold to Mortimer as his wife, Nina tagged along, and Don is just a womanizer who made moves on everyone and everything but the kitchen sink. After Bella's abduction, Mortimer lives happily ever after with his promised wife, who ends up cheating on him anyway. Karma's a real bitch. This explains why he's so whatever about his wife's disappearance and why he moves swiftly on, happy to get married again. Alexander is absolutely furious, while Cassandra is clueless to all of this. She allegedly ends up inventing the time machine, which Alexander wants to use to go back in time to find out what happened to Bella. He doesn't know what the exact plan was, since Bella didn't know the details of Mortimer's plan. She only knew he had one brewing. And the rest, you know. The books, the marriage to Cecilia, the whole thing. He knew about Mortimer's plan and wrote all about it. He knew his dad has something to do with it. What do you guys think about this mystery? Let me know in the comments below. Do you think Mortimer had anything to do with Bella's abduction? Do you still believe that the Calientes did something? I'm going to be covering Alex Play Sims's theory in the next video, where Bella's mystery will be looked at in more detail. Alright guys, there you have it. Alexander definitely knew something about Bella's disappearance. What do you think really happened to her? Do you think Mortimer was involved? Let me know in the comments below. I'd like to thank my patrons Negative Dana, Papa Khan, Leo Thompson, Artsy Flashback, Nathan Lim, A Wild Kitty Cat, Keecha John the Arcane Archer, Carolyn, Whitney, Amy Louise, Charlie, Libby Young, Perlog Anwell, Shelby Hill, Nicole Dante, Kiwi, Amy Hassel, Alia Deshayes, Elizabeth Lindloff, and ML. Thank you guys so much for supporting my channel. That's it for today's video. Thank you all so much for watching. Please like the video if you enjoyed it and let me know your theories in the comments below. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram for more lore and updates. I'll see you in my next video. Bye!